What's up, Bona family? Let's chat. It's an ML Sports Take. St. Bonaventure and Virginia Tech in Charlotte today, playing a non-conference till I can't wait for this game. 4 o'clock, ESPN2. Let's break it all down here on an ML Sports Take, brought to you by our great friends at Stanley Law Offices, the Vince Aguirre Consulting Group, and Rosie's Corner. Here we go with Virginia Tech. This team, it seems like Bona always plays them, right? Every 5-6 years. I actually remember back being a student in 2000, the Virginia Tech Hokies came in and Bona was great defensively. Caswell Cyrus was terrific. One of the best defensive games of the year for Bonnie in that game, and shut him down. I think it was 61-54. They shut him down in the RC. Let's fast forward now to 2021. This is going to be a big test for Bonaventure in a couple of different areas. Number one, as Mark Schmidt has said, right? Athletic, good offensive team. Mike Young's team plays a very fast-paced game up and down the floor. Obviously, they have not shot the ball well at times, and then other times they have, which has actually gotten them to a 39.3% clip from three. The Bonnies are going to need to close out on shooters. They have not done that, by the way, this year consistently. I don't know what it is about this team that they just can't get out on the corners, and they leave guys open all the time. We've seen that happen left and right. Happened against Northern Iowa in the loss. And despite the fact that Bonaventure in those games that they played this year where they were dominant defensively, a lot of people thought that it was just closing the shooters out, closing. But teams miss wide open shots as well. So Bonaventure's got to get that down. They got to lock down a little bit better defensively in terms of the three-point shot. Keep an eye on Keve Aluma of Virginia Tech. He is a dynamic forward. He's averaging 14.4 points a game. He's averaging over 6 rebounds. He's a force defensively, but his skill set offensively is really where Bonaventure is going to have to contain him. He can back you down. He can play in and out. He can shoot it from the mid-range. He's really good. So we're looking at you, Oshun. And speaking of Oshun, goodness gracious, wouldn't this be great if he had his offensive outbreak? I've said it all year. Defensively, he's been fine. He doesn't need to score 15, 20 points to be a factor in the game. He changes the game defensively. He gets multiple blocks a game. We know he's good on the boards. But offensively, something's just not there for Oshun right now. When he catches and turns a few feet from the basket, just shots aren't falling, and he seems to be a little hesitant at times. He's obviously a pass-first guy down there, and I actually talked to Deb Antonelli, the terrific college basketball analyst. She had the Bonnies down in Charleston. That podcast will drop next week, by the way, on Monday. But, she even told me today in the podcast, hey, Oshun's a passing guy first. That's fine, but I think the Bonnies need 5, 6, 7, 8 points more out of him. If they could get that, that's going to be a big deal. Obviously, all eyes are on Kyle Lofton leading up to this thing, the leader, the general, the floor general of the Bonnies, the point guard. Will he or won't he play with that ankle issue? It's going to be a game-time decision. I think St. Bonaventure maybe beats UConn if Lofton's in there. I mean, he's just that important of a guy. He's averaging, 17 points a game, and he does so many things as a point guard. He can defend. He can shoot it. He's the floor general. He's the leader. He's actually a solid rebounder for a guard, so would be huge to have him back. I don't know, again, if this is... I mean, it's a game that Bonaventure needs, obviously, to win. Because if you start looking at, and I did this with a close pal of mine from Bonnie, kind of like the projection to try and make the NCAA tournament, because obviously that's the end goal here. If you lose this game but beat Northeastern, you go into the year, the A-10 year, and let's say Bonaventure goes 13-5 or 14-4 in the A-10. Boy, if you add those games up, you add the losses, they're 8-2 right now. If they can get today, and if they can get Northeastern 10-2, that's huge. Because if you lose today and then lose to Northeastern, you're 9-3. Let's say you go 13-5 in the A-10, even 14-4. I don't think they'll go better than 14-4. I think there's some tough road games in there. All of a sudden, you're dealing with 4, 5 losses plus 3 out of conference. That's 7 or 8 losses. Bonaventure, I'm telling you, the NCAA tournament committee, they don't look at that and go, well, still great, let them in. They're going to go, no, bad loss to Northern Iowa. After the Charleston Classic, they tumbled a little bit. I think today might be close to a must-win. Does that mean that you put Lofton in there at 85, 90%? No. But, man, this game is huge for St. Bonnie. They got to win the next two, I think, and then I think they're really set up for the A10. You know how hard it is. I'm not being negative here. You and I both know how hard it is for Bonaventure to make the NCAA tournament. You know the challenges. Let's see what they do today against a pretty solid Virginia Tech team. Tech, by the way, a couple more notes on them. They're 7-4 right now. They obviously just recently lost to Dayton. They got way down in that game. Beat Cornell, lost to Wake Forest, beat Maryland, lost to a top 25 Xavier team, lost to number 9 Memphis. So they've gone out of conference and they have played teams in 2021. 2022 so far, and they'll play a very good Bonaventure team here today as well. Virginia Tech wants to get, obviously, their three-point shooting going, and they want to get Aluma with a lot of touches early, and they need, obviously, more strength from their guard position, most notably Storm Murphy. If he gets going from the outside, and certainly other guards on this team, Bonaventure will have its work cut out for him. I'm going to pick the Bonnies today, regardless if Kyle Lofton is in there or not. I think they know how important this game is. In terms of the overall big picture, they're rested, and I think that Bonaventure wins this game in a slugfest, 66-64 down in Charlotte. Mike Lindsley with you, ML Sports Take. Let's go, Bonnas. Thanks for watching. It's all brought to you by our great friends at Chick-fil-A of Cicero and Clay, Prestwick Golf, and our terrific friends over at the Camillus Golf Club. Hit me on Twitter at Mike L Sports, and as I always tell you, enjoy the games.